Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to Harris Football. I'm Dave Pyper. This is DC Huet.
Hello.
And Harris released his wide receiver ranks a little bit ago, and we decided we'd go over them. And best way, I think we'll just start right at the top. Harris has a kind of a consensus top guys, even though he doesn't really look at anything ADP wise. But Michael Thomas, Tyreek Hill, number 1 and 2. Julio Jones is number 3. I take a little bit of umbrage with him. I would drop him out of my top 5 just because he's getting a little bit older. I think the Falcons are about to kind of fall apart. And yeah, I kind of don't want any early shares of Julio this year. But
So you're saying drop them out of top five. We've got Michael Thomas, Tyreek Hill, Julio,
mhm.
Devontae Adams, Hopkins. Right there at 6 is Kenny Galladay. Can you get him below Kenny? I know you and I were both excited about Kenny Galladay.
Yeah, like I love Kenny Galladay. Kenny Galladay is like is is this top 3 guys, for me. I just think if he's not a top 3 receiver in the next year or two, I will be just flabbergasted. So yeah, I love Kenny Galladay, especially if we get 16 games with Matt Stafford slinging it. I love it. But yeah, and then you keep going down the list. You got Godwin and Evans right next to each other. There's 7 and 8. We look for more production with Brady going there. And I guess I don't want to keep taking shots at Harris, but I'd also lower Odell. He's got Odell at 9 here, and as you guys can see, I'm drinking out of a footy pajama mug right now. Go Browns! But I do not think Odell Beckham will make it into my top 10 receivers this year. I don't know about you, Hewitt. I think that we talked a little bit about your thoughts.
Yeah, we were talking about before this recording. I like the grouping there because he's got Odell and Amari Cooper back to back,
Mm-hmm.
and they're both kind of like high upside, high talent guys that haven't always brought it, or Odell used to until his 1 year with the Browns. And so it's really like Jekyll and Hyde. Which are we getting? Are we getting all of the years with the Giants? Because even his worst Giants year wasn't last year, as I'm sure you know, Browns fan.
Yeah, yeah.
I I could see Odell here because I like the upside. There's still the chance like Amari. Sure, could he be the number one guy at the end of the year? Yeah, but I don't think so. But I think Odell still has that chance. I also think his chance is to be completely sinking your fantasy team, right? It's a wide range of outcomes. But I'm not that far removed from seeing Odell be like a tiny football god on the field. And so for his talent, I don't doubt it.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think scaring you off more about him? Is it last season
Oh,
or
it's Baker Mayfield and his inability to see middle linebackers. Like I've I've watched a lot of Browns film this year, like a lot of it, and I'm not. I don't. There's this narrative that maybe because of the Freddie Kitchen situation that's why Baker was all over the place last year, but it seems to me that he lacks the ability to see a lot of the players in the middle of the field. So the defensive players, I mean. So yeah, that's my opinion on Odell Beckham for this season. But if actually you kind of talked about the grouping there with Amari Cooper and Allen Robinson, I know is like a footy pajamas, so you kind of stay away because it's your home team. So it's like I don't
yeah,
really want to
I
hurt.
I don't mix the Bears real life team with my fantasy team,
Yeah,
both because they typically have bad offenses and I don't want to hurt myself that much. I'm sure, Mitch from the show probably has similar feelings. So if you're already rooting for the Bears, it's hard to put all your eggs in that basket.
yo, dude, I totally get it as a Browns fan. So, but if you move just a couple down, I actually wanted to hit on Cortland Sutton a little bit. Cortland Sutton is electric, really talented. I actually watched a bunch of Drew Lock film over the last week. I'm not like a great quarterback assessor, obviously, but Drew Lock seems good. He buys a lot of time. He opens up the field for his receivers. He's not afraid to throw the ball. He goes through progressions really quickly. I love him. So because of Drew Lock's second year coming into a sophomore year in the NFL, I think Cortland Sutton, who is just like a magnificent route runner, is going to be able to like take a huge step forward. I could see him breaking into the top 10, I almost said top 5. Probably not that high, but man, really talented guy.
Yeah, I like Sutton a lot too. Actually, I went back and was watching. I was hoping that we had our own YouTube video on him that we could plug, but it's not super recent. We've got bits and pieces in there, but we've got him playing with, you know, if he thought of quarterbacks, and he's got that huge wingspan too. Like
Mhm.
he's able to go up and get some jump balls. He's pretty exciting. I like Sutton a lot.
Yeah.
I actually like his upside more than maybe some of the not old vets. I mean, Allen Robinson, I guess, is a bit older, but I get a little more excited about the what could we see next
I,
out of Sutton.
yeah, I'll like say something crazy. Like I might take Sutton over Beckham, and like it sounds crazy now, but at the end of the season, it might be like, yeah, that was a really good call because Odell could blow up again. Who knows? You know.
All right, let's pencil that down, and people in the comments can light you up if
Oh
that doesn't
no.
work out.
Oh no.
6 months from now, here we go.
Oh no. Yeah. All right. So Dave, do you want to tell the listeners a little bit about our sponsor this week?
Yeah, our sponsor once again is Felix Grey. I'm rocking my Felix Greys. I got my little case here if you guys want to see it. I really love them. The idea is they block blue light, lockdown quarantine, getting a lot of Netflix time in or whatever, or in our case, rewatching game film from last year. It really makes a difference. It's too easy to stare at your screen for too long. And then you like walk to the fridge and feel all blurry eyed and stuff. And like these Felix Greys make a difference for me. My kids have had some Zoom calls and I've lent them a pair. My wife's always doing remote work, so I got to order her a pair too. But I'm loving the Felix Greys, and what's what's also nice about it is they work well even not on a screen.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I wear them out and I'm driving or something like that, it doesn't turn everything like a strange orange. And sometimes stuff gets weird when they're intended for a computer. So I'm really, really happy with them. We've got a link below, and it's felixgrayglasses.com/Harris2. If you guys want to go check them out, I think they start as low as like $95. They can come in prescription too, so you don't have to constantly be switching them. But these are just like regular ones, and they make a big difference for me.
Yeah, we just want to thank Felix Gray so much. I'm thinking about uh, all the people, especially at home right now, man, just staring so much. It wouldn't be a bad idea to grab some of those and save your eyes a little bit of time. So, uh, so yeah, since I just like went on and on about Cortland Sutton forever, Dave, as we move down the list, who catches your eye next?
Well, pretty close in the ranks. Chris has Stephon Diggs at 15, and I love Diggs. I love
Mm-hmm.
Diggity. If you're looking at the ranks at harrisfootball.com/wide receiver ranks, and you can see it, there actually is the link to the Stephon Diggs music video just for fun, too. Just kind of remember some of the highlights of it. But he does move to Buffalo, and it makes me a little nervous because I think it could be a little more like feast and famine there. He could be going out for the deep balls, but it's also it's still a younger quarterback situation. We can't count on being the double threat like in Minnesota. Um, but I like Diggs, and at 15, like I could see me taking him. I looked around at other places for some other ranks, and I'm seeing him more in the 20s, down like with Lockett and DK Metcalf, which makes me feel a little better that if I grab Diggs at 15, at least right now, he'll probably be available for
Mm-hmm.
me, and I like that if I can get Diggs as a number two, I think there's a really high upside number two for me.
Oh yeah.
Um, and with him being ranked a little lower consensus, I feel comfortable with it. I don't know that I would want to be reaching for him up in that like Odell group, like up in my top 10, just because it changes situation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. I like the idea of Josh Allen just airing balls out and Stephon Diggs running underneath them. I mean, yeah, that's if at the end of the season we see him as a top 10 guy, neither one of us would be surprised, and yeah, be happy to take him, especially as my second wide receiver. Wow, yeah, be great. Yeah, so as we move down, I'll just we got Cooper Cup and DJ Moore and Smith Schuster and a whole bunch of people. But as we kind of move down the list, I'm going to jump all the way down to 25 because we got Terry McLaurin there. If you guys want to check out a video I did a couple weeks ago, I guess it would be a couple months ago at this point. I love Scary Terry. I think he could be a top. He's another guy that's just kind of a lot of the conversations around these receivers are based on their situation. And so he's one of those guys where he has Dwayne Haskins throwing in the ball. If Dwayne Haskins can take a step forward in his second year, we could see it. I made this whole point before, so I'm sorry if I'm reiterating myself, but really like Terry at 25. It's kind of in the same vein of if I could get him as like third receiver, or second receiver, he's great. I love him there too. Like,
well, going along with that, another second year player with DK Metcalf. You're talking about people second year taking the big bump. I like DK there, and I think you do too.
28.
Chris has him at 28 overall, and rather than having to say we were just talking about Josh Allen's quarterback, and who are we looking at for the quarterback? Like, I think we know who Russell is,
Yeah,
right? Like,
he's the best quarterback in the league. That's who he is. Like the most underrated quarterback in the league every year.
yeah. So there's a lot of tools that DK has himself, and a lot in that team, and I kind of feel like it's possible that because everyone keeps talking about Seattle running the ball and stuff like that, and I know you like Chris Carson, but like I feel like DK is getting a little overlooked down here at 28. And I'm not criticizing Chris's rank, as fun as it would be to pick on it. Like I think Chris actually has baked in some decent upside here by putting him here. He has him a spot ahead of AJ Green, and we've seen what AJ Green has been able to do when he's on the field.
Yeah.
So I think he's properly ranked. It's just a guy that gets me excited. I like him a lot as a player.
Yeah, no, I love DK just because again he's that physicality to him. He's just so beefy. So yeah, I mean I love he's an exciting player to have in your team. That's for sure. We'll just do some quick hits as we wrap up. Just some guys that we like where Chris has them ranked out because we're running out of time here. But
How about for the Browns, your home team, Jarvis Landry there at 31?
yeah, okay, I can make an argument. Okay, yeah, I like Jarvis Landry at 31. I actually think because they're going to make Baker throw a lot of short passes this season. He's gonna have a lot of receptions, and that's why another reason I'm kind of lowering Odell and raising Jarvis. I think that Stefanski is gonna kind of reel Baker in and actually give him something that he can do correctly. So
Let's see, looking here, the next stretch there after Jarvis and Hollywood Brown at 32, I get a little scared of Julio, maybe Tyler Boyd, but I'm scared of Mike Williams. But really, someone I personally don't want. Number 38, I think Chris has Will Fuller appropriately ranked down here.
mm-hmm.
We've seen the upsides of Will Fuller. That's just not my style of building a team. And some people are going to be into that, but I always think of him more as like a Deshaun Jackson. Like you get 0 points or 2 points, or he completely wins you the week.
Mm-hmm.
So if he's down here at 38, like it's kind of the right. Oh, I could plug him into the flex and swing for the fences. Like that feels okay. But before Cooks got traded for and got on the team, if Brandon Cooks wasn't there, I feel like Will Fuller would have shot up like into the top 20,
Mm-hmm.
and I would have happily let everyone else take him there because I would not want anyone that kind of inconsistent.
Yeah.
And I've like when checking for other people's ranks to be like, am I totally off base? And I was reading comments, people were like, oh, well, you can't underrate the chemistry between him and the QB. You can't underrate the chemistry. And when you watch the game film, he drops balls like he has. I think the most drops or second most drops for like on deep balls, and deep balls are his thing. So whether he's chemistry or not, if he can't catch it, if he can't get his fingers around it, who cares that he got to the ball? Obviously he can, right? And there's going to be 3 or 4 dumb weeks or great weeks from him where I'm going to look dumb if someone wanted to clip this and send it back. But I don't want any part of it.
Mm-hmm, yeah, over weeks and weeks. And just kind of wrap it up, I wanted to hit on two guys real quick because one of them, when we talked before, you made a great point for Sterling Shepard, and I loved what you'd said before. So if you want to make those points, not to make you keep talking, but you made such a good point last time. So
no, I'm on board. Sterling Shepard's one of my guys. Like I just always seem to like him. I always seem to draft him, and then he lets me down a little bit. But I went back and watched all of the game film from last year, and he was still pretty good last year. And his situation around him can't be any worse than last year, right? Where the rookie quarterback is going to come in for the second year. Like we know they've got a run game there, so it's not you saying like, oh, he's all alone on this island, like everyone's going to cover him. He's a good wide receiver, and he looks good out there. And I've gone back and looked at the plays, and I was like, okay, yeah, I like this guy. He's low key, like quiet gets me excited. Where I'm like, I can get someone real solid. And Chris has him ranked 47th. He's got him right there with Darius Slayton. I was just being like, all right, if I'm, up above 40 picking people, he gets me excited. He's in a good group too. Like we're looking at Marvin Jones is there, 43. Maybe Emmanuel Sanders in the new situation. Like there's a grouping here in the 40s that I almost like a little more than who's in the 30s.
Yeah.
And then I know you got someone in the 50s that gets you excited.
Yeah, I'll just hit on one last guy, Brashad Perryman. I really like. Not the most talented guy, but pretty fast, has pretty good hands. I mean, I shouldn't even say that. He has good hands. I don't think he has a drop recorded in the NFL, to be honest, but he has pretty good hands. This is his first chance to be the number one receiver, I think. That's the way it's kind of looking. And Sam Darnold in the second year, I mean, a lot of my arguments are the quarterback's going to take a step forward, but like I love Sam Darnold. Like I'm a Sam Darnold truther. Like I love the I'm out there seeing ghosts thing. I thought, being self-critical is great as long as you don't beat yourself up too much. Sam, relax. If Sam cannot get mononucleosis this year, I feel great about Perriman's role in that offense. But that's a guy that I like that Chris had after 50 that I was like, man, yeah, I would like jump at that as my wide receiver 3. Like I in my head it was close. I had him closer to like 40, and it's probably too high. But
yeah. I mean, if you can wait on it and get a guy there, it's always worth the gamble, because if you're not hitting and you're week 4 or 5, like, all right, now I know who I'm picking up my backup tight end now that the bye weeks have come around or whatever.
Sure. Yeah.
Cool. Well, I say we kind of leave it there with someone you're excited about rather than us criticizing some ranks. Anyone out there, thanks for watching. Leave a comment below of who are you excited about? Especially down here where you gotta, it really all kind of
in the weeds
coagulates together. In the weeds. Yeah. Who is it you're excited about? Maybe it gives us someone else to look at for other people on the comment board or for us making the channel. I want to say thanks again to Felix Grey for sponsoring the video and letting us talk some football with you guys. Well, we're still in this sports-free world, and thanks to Pyper for putting this on and getting us on here and talking again.
Thanks so much for watching. Please, please, please smash that like button, write a comment, tell us who else you'd like to see us review film on, and of course, best of all, please subscribe to our channel and then click that little bell above the subscribe button, and you'll be notified whenever we post a new video.